Well, the exodus of the Hebrew people from Canaan may have been because of the famine, as indeed said in the Old Testament, which may have been caused by the breakdown of civilization that was coming from invasion of the sea people. The climate change all happening together. So, Canaan was a small country and coastal and easily subject to sea attack and so on. And the harvest failing anyway because of climate change, which is what's causing the sea people to shift. And perhaps, in part, a rising of the Black Sea as the water of the rising Mediterranean breaks through into it. And the peoples have to leave. The sea people will contribute to it. I mean, sea people from other parts of the Mediterranean too, the western end and so on and so forth. Desperate people, in turn making the people they invade on the coast desperate. So you might have it that the Hebrew then migrate down into Egypt, and Egypt is not unhappy to have them because its own troubles on the delta. You can have the delta if you like. I mean, it's still invaded by sea people, but obviously you've got us behind you, and we're coping with the sea people as far as we can. So you find that they have a place in Egypt. No, story may be indeed that there's famine and Joseph's brothers, go to Egypt and so on, and we got this fantastical story. But perhaps there's some measure of truth about it. To be kinder, I should say some measure of history about it, not just historicity. It might be consistent with the accusation that Akhenaten was rather relaxed about how he kept control of the empire to the north east. Perhaps he couldn't. He's also suffering from attacks from the sea and so on, at home and more loosely on his vassal states. And he lets them come and live in Egypt, and of course he's going to use them as part of the army and defence, make the delta more of a buffer state in that way. And of course it might not be the whole of the population of Canaan shifting south, just those that are willing to and up and move and so forth. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Well, this is consistent with observed of history, which is that massive migrations can result from famines and invasion, and perhaps we got both acting at once here, if such migration did coincide with the sea people invasion and so on. Thank you, Dan.